All right, guys, Zaxter99 here, and I gotta say, I am more than a little bit perturbed because of too many Steam gamers, too many imbeciles, too many people that don't use their brain or even take 10 seconds to search the internet before they absolutely just run with wildfire. And I'm talking about Schedule 1, guys, and what I'm talking about here is Schedule 1 getting sued by the developers of the drug games, right? Drug Simulator 1 and 2. And this is exactly what I'm talking about here is Schedule 1 lawsuit is actually ridiculous. 100,000 reviews by Optimus here. We have even Asmongold here is reporting that Schedule 1 dev is getting sued right here. Asmongold. Asmongold is a content creator with how many subscribers? 79. I thought he had more than that, but he gets millions of views. Right? Well, that's on his shorts. Yeah. So that is just only on his shorts. If we look at him, he has like millions of subscribers, I do believe. We'll see. Let's copy that. Asmongold. Yeah, how many? Yeah, 3.5 million subscribers. And he's making posts here that Schedule 1 dev is getting sued in his title. With a channel of over 3 million subscribers and millions of views coming from your videos, I just think it's highly irresponsible to be posting crap like this and titles like this for clickbait when you don't even do 10 seconds of research. Now, before this article I found, guys, I had researched this a couple of days ago, and I had figured out that there was nothing about Schedule 1 dev being sued by the developers of the drug games, the drug simulators. I haven't played any of these games, guys. Yeah, drug dealer simulator 1 and 2 is what we're talking about. But what I want to talk to you guys about here is drug dealer simulator because of rampant rumors and people being idiots basically on Steam. We see that recent reviews, over 2,000 reviews in the last probably a few days, have knocked the total positive reviews down to 9%, and they've definitely affected the overall reviews with all these negative reviews. And if we look at the last 30 days of the negative reviews, let's go ahead and take a look recent. We see that most of these reviews are saying that these devs are suing the dev of Schedule 1. Stop bullying other devs, reading this. This game was 15 to 20. Go play Schedule 1. And a lot of these people are um, just saying that the lawsuit is happening, which couldn't be further from the truth, guys. Like I said, I found no evidence of it when I checked it out a couple of days, so I knew it was kind of BS, but so many of these content creators on YouTube are putting schedules out like this. Schedule 1 is being sued without even using Google search to see if it's real. And they're doing the same thing and going and posting negative reviews on Drug Dealer Simulator 1 and 2 without having a clue of what's actually going on. So I think it's responsible to go ahead and tell you guys the truth. And we found we found an article that came out on the Gamer just this morning, 11 hours ago at the time I'm reading this. The Drug Dealer Simulator publisher has no ill will towards the Schedule 1. Evidently, it's just one dev out of Australia, and amidst the copyright dispute. So Schedule 1 is being investigated for potential copyright infringement. That says potential, not they believe 100% that there was copyright infringement against the Drug Dealer Simulator. The Drug Dealer Simulator's publisher, which is different than the devs. So the devs are Byte Runners, the publisher is Movie Games SA. So completely two different entities there, even though they worked on the same games. So the publisher tells that there's currently no lawsuit. Again, nobody's suing anybody yet. And it bears no ill will towards the Schedule 1 dev. I think it's important to make it point that it's only one developer that made Schedule 1 as far as everything I've already seen. The publisher also stresses that drug dealer simulator devs have no involvement with this investigation. So the publisher launched an investigation to see if there might be copyright infringement going on. They don't know that yet. They're just saying, hey, this game, Schedule 1 has blown up. Do I think there's some jealousy there? Do I think there's some anger because, they've blown up way more than the drug dealer simulator games? Probably. Do I think this is the best course of action by the publisher of drug dealer simulator games? No, I don't agree with their actions at all. But for gamers and YouTubers to blow it out of proportion and be posting videos such as the developers of Drug Dealer Simulator are suing the developer of Schedule 1 is nonsense. It's basically running on rumors without any factual evidence of what you're saying and what you're posting. I think it's important especially if you're a YouTube content creator as big as Asmongold with 3.5 million subscribers, I do believe that you need to take responsibility. You have some responsibility to at least do 10 seconds worth of research and make sure that what you're posting is accurate. That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this article, guys. Schedule 1 has taken Steam by storm, obviously, hitting 460,000 consecutive players over this last weekend and doing really well right now. Like even right now at midnight my time, I think it has like 200 and something thousand consecutive players. It's just insane. 98% positive reviews. But anyway, after it launched on early access late March, as I write this, it's the 5th most played game on Steam, wedged between Path of Exile 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds. Not bad for an indie game, absolutely. And props to the indie dev who made Schedule 1. It looks like fun to me. I'll probably eventually grab a hold of it and play it because it does kind of look like fun. But anyway, TVGS, I believe that stands for Tyler's Video Game Studio or something like that. I know the first T stands for his name, Tyler. I believe I heard that somewhere. However, Tyler's Video Game Studio has run into some issues amidst all the success. Schedule 1 is currently being investigated for potential copyright infringement by Movie Games. Again, this is the publisher of the drug games, the drug simulator games, drug dealer simulators. Drug Dealer Simulator, now Movie Games, has commented on the move, explaining that why the investigation was launched. Okay? There is no lawsuit. It's not our intention to prevent Tyler's Video Game Studio from selling or developing their game, a representative from Movie Games told The Gamer, explaining that action will only be taken if actual copyright infringement, is found. There is an investigation into the nature of the similarities between games since a preliminary legal analyst indicated there might have been an infringement, the representative continues. The analysis and investigation were necessary in the light of repeating opinions that the games were very similar. By not investigating this, Movie Games, being a publicly traded company, could face severe consequences for negligence. I think this is an important line to remember in all this. So Movie Games is basically stating they're doing this because not investigating, or at least investigating potential copyright infringement, would basically hurt a lot of the people who have a stock in their company, right? There is no ill will towards Tyler's Video Game Studio. We even emailed them best wishes shortly before the release and when the game was already huge, but before the investigation was deemed necessary. However, we are obligated to perform this investigation. Movie Game stresses that Drug Dealer Simulator's developer, Byte Runners, did not launch this investigation and has absolutely no involvement with this whatsoever. This statement comes after Schedule 1 fans started to review bomb Drug Dealer Simulator and Drug Dealer Simulator 2 in response to the news of the investigation. And everybody's screaming that the developers of Drug Dealer Simulators are suing the single developer of Schedule 1, which could not be further from the truth. Let me repeat that. The fact that the devs, which have no involvement, as said right here, in this whole thing, in the investigation or anything, but everybody's screaming that the devs of the Drug Dealer Simulator games are suing the solo developer of Schedule 1. There is absolutely zero truth in that, and why everybody's review bombing it. So it's sad to me, and I hope Steam is supposed to take care of these negative review bombs when they happen. So for the sake of the Drug Dealer Simulator games, which I haven't played at either one, and I mean, honestly, I'm just looking, I mean, yeah, the graphics are better in Drug Dealer Simulator, obviously, than in Schedule 1, but graphics don't make a game. And from what I've seen of them, guys, I would rather play Schedule 1 of the games that I've seen from what I've seen of, just watching people stream the games. I watched a friend play and stream Drug Dealer Simulator a couple of years ago, and I've watched a few people stream Schedule 1. Schedule 1 definitely looks like the more fun game, the better made game, that kind of thing. But still, I do think all these review bombs should be removed by Steam. Hopefully, they'll remove them soon. I don't think that these games deserve to be review bombed because of the investigation from what I'm reading. That's just my 2 cents. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be a lawyer. I'm just reading the articles here, and I'm also telling you that a couple of days ago, I tried to find out if there was any truth to the fact that the developers of these drug simulator games were suing the developer of Schedule 1, and I found no evidence of that whatsoever. So I was already kind of annoyed with that. And here we see that my hunch was right. My research was right a couple of days ago, even before this article was made, that there is no lawsuit whatsoever. Because the first thing when I started seeing this a couple of days ago, guys, I wanted to go and actually look at the lawsuit. I wanted to go and pull up the public files, the public papers of the lawsuit, and take a look at it. That's why I looked it up. And there was no evidence of a lawsuit. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, guys, is I'll have a link to this article down below. But before you listen to even really popular YouTube content creators, Twitchers, social media, before you listen to all these people or before you go to a game on Steam like Drug Dealer Simulator and just run with the sheep, bah, and believe that, hey, the devs of these games are suing the solo developer of Schedule 1, use your head. Don't just run with the sheep, guys. Don't just bad like a sheep. Like, do your own research. Google the shit and see if it's actually valid. See if there's any truth to it. And just because Asmongold posts a video saying that, Schedule 1 is being sued, getting sued by the developers of Drug Dealer Simulator, I know that Asmongold thinks he's a god, basically. I've seen some of his videos where he thinks that, like, any review he gives a game is the gospel, and anybody who disagrees with his review of a certain game is an idiot. So, for example, I know he said, like, Ark Survival is a 3 or a 4 out of 10. And anybody that disputes that, this is a video like a week ago or something like that. He said that anybody that disagrees with that or gives the game Ark Survival a higher, like a 7, for example, he basically called them use the R word, and said that anybody that disagrees with any of his reviews on any game is a blithering idiot. And that's why I say he definitely has an elitist attitude. Almost seems like a narcissist in a way, with his attitude, or like he is above everybody else. So I also noticed that Asmongold here, he hasn't posted it. He posted this 2 days ago that Schedule 1 is getting reviewed, or getting sued. And what sucks to me is this guy, he should know better now, right? And this just annoys me. I mean, the fact that Steam users are running and negatively reviewing these two games based on bullshit that isn't true annoys the crap out of me. But even more so, I think big content creators like this making videos like that, that aren't have based on zero fact, and they're coming in here and posting videos for hits and clicks and basically reporting complete bullshit, complete lies without doing even 10 seconds of Google research before you make such a video. That annoys the crap out of me. Because, like I said, he has a huge influence, a massive influence. And he hasn't even posted a video saying, hey, I was wrong. Schedule 1 dev is not being sued. He has nothing here basically saying, you know what, sorry, he doesn't take down the video. He doesn't post a video saying, hey, I gave misinformation, I was wrong about this, I didn't do my research. Of course not. And that's what annoys me. I think that, especially if you're a big time content creator, you owe your viewers at least a 10 seconds worth of research it would take to see that what you're posting is complete bullshit. It doesn't have any factual grounds whatsoever. And you're only helping to fuel those flames. So this really annoys me. I want to know what you guys have to say about this kind of stuff. Um, I'm not saying that you can't ever be wrong as a content creator. You can't state something that's misinformation. But I do think as you get bigger and grow as a content creator, I do think you owe your viewers at least a little bit of honesty and integrity. And I have lost a lot of respect for Asmongold just because of a couple of videos I've seen, this being one of them. Um, he's lost a lot of my respect, I gotta be honest. At least admit you were wrong. At least admit you posted a bullshit video or take the video down or whatever. Because all you're doing is helping to fuel the flames of negative review bombing that shouldn't even be there. The developers of these games are not suing the developer of Schedule One. There's no truth in that whatsoever. So again, guys, I'll have the link to this article down below. And I'm just asking you guys to at least, start Googling stuff, start doing a little bit of research before you just believe that anything said by some of these big content creators is gospel, or before you start just running with a sheep on Steam and believing everything that you read by the masses. Because a lot of times the masses are not accurate, and in fact, we've seen it time after time after time on Steam, where the masses a lot of times will lead you the wrong direction. So this has been Zaxxer99 trying to hold up a little bit of integrity here. I know my video won't get very many views, 50 views probably, but at least I want to go ahead and put a little bit of water on the rampant wildfires that are out there about the Schedule 1 dev being sued, which right now has absolutely zero truth to it. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. This has been Zaxxer99. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.